Southampton, whose 5,000 fans are hoping to spoil the party this evening after making the long midweek trip north. Now, the team news, particularly for Liverpool, was always going to be very interesting, and here it is. It has 3 teenagers, 2 20-year-olds and 1 at 21. James McConnell and Bobby Clark, both midfield, both 19, both making second starts. And Lewis Koumas, an 18-year-old, a senior start for him. 6 changes from the Wembley final. And for Southampton, who've lost form at just the wrong moment, 8 changes from their defeat against Millwall at the weekend. Stevens, Bednarek and Aribo, the 3 who keep their places tonight. Good evening. The backdrop is the draw for the quarter-final for the Cup has just been made, and the winner here will be away to either Nottingham Forest or Manchester United. That makes it even spicier for Roy Keane and for Ian Wright. Good evening, gents. Roy knows you do win things with kids because Liverpool proved it at the weekend. Bearing in mind just how young the team is, does the fact that it's at home and that they won at the weekend almost in some way compensate for their inexperience?
Yeah, obviously, and the momentum of that. The fact, I think that the experienced players as well will be quite excited about playing with these young players. But if you're going to bring them into a game at home, and it's a big game, it's a massive game for Liverpool against Southampton in the Cup. Yeah, this is the game you want to bring them in. This is the kind of atmosphere that they can't lose in this atmosphere, especially at Liverpool at this stage of a cup competition. It's always going to be difficult to beat them. So you bring them in now, coming off the finals, the momentum, everything, you know, is perfect for them.
What will the vibe be like in the Liverpool atmosphere after what's gone on in the last few days?
I think they're in a great place. They'll be full of energy. We've sensed it at the ground tonight. The atmosphere is pretty good. I think there's nothing better than obviously winning a trophy, but also when we've got young kids coming through doing well. It's obviously still early days for some of them, but it's another opportunity with a draw coming up now, potential chance of going to United. They'll be buzzing with that, and it's great to see. You know, when you're at a big club, you're always wanting that chance, but now it's up to the players to take it. They've had a good start over the last week or two. Big test again tonight for them.
And the reality, Roy, surely is obviously they're playing for what happens tonight and the rest of the season, but they're potentially all these youngsters playing for whoever it is that comes in the summer, wherever they may be watching in the world tonight, to impress that person as well.
Yeah, well, every game gives you the opportunity to go and impress the current manager. Obviously, we don't know who's going to come in this summer, but yeah, there'll be potential managers looking at these players. And if they can build a team around them. Again, it's still early days. It's very difficult. You don't want to get too carried away. But they've got an opportunity. Again, I don't know too much about these young players, but the fact is they're getting an opportunity. It's up
you
to
know about their dads, I'm afraid.
Unfortunately,
that's Lee Clark's boy.
That makes us feel really old, of course. But yeah, listen, they come from good backgrounds, obviously. And some of them have been out on loan. They're getting an opportunity. It's up to them now to go and take it.
It's just the most, as you say, when you're at a big club, it's one thing to go, give me an opportunity. Then when you get it. You have to take it.
You do have to take it. And what was interesting...
Because the fans will be with you. That's the key,
absolutely, yeah, and we know that they'll get right behind them. They get behind any team that come out in a Liverpool shirt here. But I think that when you look at these young players and the fact that they came on in the final, and they came on at a very important time in the final, it's not like they came on just to soak up a bit of atmosphere. They came on and played their part. And I think that, yes, against the Southampton side, they're trying themselves to get to promotion, get back to the Premier League. They held their own against Chelsea, no problem. And this is the kind of game in the FA Cup, starting the game, where we're really going to see what they're capable of now. They've been training and playing with the first team and experienced players for a long time. That's why the manager probably trusted to bring them into this situation. And now, like Roy said, he just want to see them carry on progressing.
Roy, in that Southampton midfield, Joe Rothwell's 29 on loan from Bournemouth, Premier League experience. Joe Aribo, Rangers 27. In footballing terms, will they try and bully the Liverpool youngsters?
Yeah, they probably will try that if they're that type of player and they're physical. But we know Southampton will come and try and play as well, probably much based on possession. So yeah, listen, every important game, the battle in midfield is going to be huge. But the benefit is also when you've got younger players, is there is no fear. So I don't think they'll be looking at the Southampton players going, listen, they've played a lot more games than me, or they've got a lot more experience. You play with no fear. That's the benefit of a young player. But the midfield battles obviously is going to be huge tonight.
Well, like you say, that James McConnell, I watched him here against Norwich, and I think Bradley got the man of the match that night as well, because both of them were very good. But James McConnell was so impressive. It'll be interesting to see who's going to try and bully him off the pitch, especially at home. So it should be a good game for him. Very good, experienced side, some experienced players at Southampton, but these are very good players who have got.
And very, very exciting times for Jurgen Klopp and his team. He's looking to take a further step towards another Wembley appearance tonight. Here he is with Gabriel Clark.
Jürgen, after the experience of the weekend, you called it the most special trophy you've ever won. What has been your challenge over the last few days?
Just try to recover. There's nothing, no big celebration. What you saw it in the stadium, it was what we had. Dressing room, probably people could see as well. That was it. Then we flew home. And since then we tried to recover and find a team for tonight. That's what we did. Couple of problems added on. Obviously, Ryan was clear. Endo cannot play. Robbo got ill. Maka was ill yesterday. Came back this morning. So we'll see how long he can do. So that's a challenge.
Well, tell us about some of the players who've come in, because it's a special night. Lewis Koumas, first game for Liverpool, first minutes. Bobby Clark and James McConnell, only their second starts. What nights for those guys?
Yeah, it was great, absolutely. But it's anyhow, it's a difference if you come on, if you start a game, it's slightly different. We play against a top team in the championship. They changed a lot as well. I saw it now, I think 6 or 7 times. But still, having a good team, having a clear idea. So the boys are ready. The boys are ready to defend. That's the most important thing. And then if we get the ball, we should try to play football as well. And it's okay. Koumas is a striker, who's a top finisher. Honestly, his finish technique is outstanding. Then Bobby and James introduced themselves pretty much. That's what they are, what you saw. Tonight we have to be really good against the ball, because they have a specific way of play. They try a couple of things, and we had no time really to prepare it. So it's more about, hopefully I said the right things in the meeting, and then the boys should be fine.
We shall see. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was very complimentary about the Championship as well, Jurgen Klopp. Let's talk about Conor Bradley, Ian. When he came into the team at right back, he was so good. Everyone thought, well, maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold could play midfield all the time.
Yes.
He ends the cup final playing further forward, almost sort of right wing, and will play further forward again tonight. I mean, how would you assess his introduction to this Liverpool team?
Well, it's been fantastic when we've seen it. And obviously, he played at right back when we saw him, but even in that game, he got forward, scored a goal. We saw that he's got no problems being in that last third of the pitch. You know, the quality he's got, the engine he's got. So, you know, it was always going to be a situation where, you know, just see what more he can do. You look at, you know, he's got great energy, he's got great ability on the ball. He can go past people. You know, he's got great timing of his pass. You know, we're talking about a player that's really, you know, a top player. Great movement there, great awareness. Should have scored there. You know, but like, you know, it's fantastic.
A lot will depend on these lads, obviously the temperament. They're clearly talented players. They wouldn't be at a club like Liverpool if they didn't have it. But it's not that temperament, how to deal with these opportunities. His stats are pretty good for starters. Obviously, he scored a goal, he's got 5 assists. That's not bad going, but he sets high standards now. He's got to keep it up. That's the challenge for these kids.
Yeah, it also, as somebody said, they are sitting on a gold mine potentially here in terms of the academy, and every other club that needs to look at that and go, hang on a second, Liverpool got these 3 or 4 players who could save them an absolute fortune as well. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Without a doubt. But like the thing is that, like Roy rightly says, what you got to do is that you want them to continue to progress in what they're doing, because that's the way you're then able to make something on the asset. You know, they're building assets, but like what it is, it's about their attitude, how they're going to move forward and what they're going to achieve.
Well, before he was scoring cup final winning goals in all red, Virgil van Dijk was scoring in the red and white stripes of Southampton. And we'll talk about Liverpool's opponents tonight and hear from their boss, Russell Martin. That's all coming up next. So much live sport here on ITV at the moment. It's the darts version of the FA Cup this weekend. 158 players due in Minehead, with amateurs and pros mixing an open draw after each round. All starts Friday lunchtime, ITV4, and yes, Luke Littler will be there. Well, Russell Martin is navigating his first tricky period as Southampton manager with 3 losses in the last 4 matches. Let's hear what he's got to say ahead of tonight's game with Gabriel Clark.
Russell, Blackburn pushed Newcastle, Leicester won at Bournemouth. How do you feel about your team doing similar and pushing Liverpool all the way tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited about the challenge. In every game of football you want to win, you prepare to win. We understand how difficult it is coming here, whatever team they pick, but also it's a really brilliant challenge for us. And I think, for me, the biggest test is for the players to show what they've got and to be the team we really want to be all the time, and that includes coming here. So that's exciting.
You've made changes, some by choice, some not by choice. But what do you make of Liverpool's team with so many young players starting for them?
Yeah, they're the young guys that helped them win the cup on Sunday, and they're very talented players. They also have a very strong back four that have got a lot of games, 3 of them anyway. But yeah, whatever team Liverpool put out here at Anfield is a strong team. So I don't really have any different feeling than I did previously or before the game, preparing for the game. As I said, it's a big challenge for us, but it's one we're looking forward to.
You've had a tough spell, but you also had a club record run of 25 games unbeaten. What do you need to get back to? If there's one quality you showed during that run you need first tonight, what is it?
Yeah, courage to play always, to be the team we want to be, and aggression. If you bring both, the team functions really, really well. And I've been only unhappy really with the 45 minutes of football in a long, long time, which was Hull in the first half. Apart from that, I've been so pleased with the players.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
So Liverpool won the League Cup for the 10th time at the weekend, and the crowd getting a look at it this evening. Southampton, Ian, really interesting, unbeaten in 25 games. They've then lost 3 of the last 4. Here's a quote from your old manager Arsene Wenger about confidence. He said, "You go up by stairs, but you come down by the lift."
Yeah.
In other words, it's really hard to get to a level of massively confident, but it can disappear overnight. So how do they start to right that?
Well, to be honest, this will be a great game for them to do that, regardless of the age of the Liverpool players they're playing against. The main thing is that their focus is to try and get back into the Premier League, and they're going to have to get themselves going sooner rather than later in respects of getting their confidence and coming to Anfield in a game of this magnitude and playing well, excuse me, hopefully winning it is what's going to help them to get back up to that mountain. That's what they're going to have to do.
And they were due some sort of dip. You know, they weren't going to keep that run going. We know how difficult the Championship is. But recently, 1 or 2 of the games, they have given some poor goals away. They've just got to tidy that up a little bit. Because they are nice on the eye and they're good in possession, particularly the Championship. But defensively, of course, you'd worry from tonight. Manning at left back, I think, defensively, you know, they'll obviously be under the cosh. But I think they'll come and be comfortable in possession, but defensively it would be a problem.
I can't believe that too often you were short of confidence, but maybe a team was when things weren't going well. How did you try and set about that?
It's human nature. You're obviously, but you got to roll your sleeves up. I guarantee when they were winning games, there were some games they didn't play particularly well, but they had that belief they were going to win the game. No, they probably just lost that bit of confidence.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of changes tonight, but again, a bit like Liverpool, you get players coming in, get an opportunity, try and take it.
Yeah, it's the main thing is like the manager says, you know, they've got to play their game, they've got to stick to their game. They've got to be compact here. And even when it's going against you, you say about the confidence, the main thing that keeps you confident in what you're doing is if everybody does the job what they're meant to do until you play yourself through that. So once you play yourself through that, hopefully you can make some chances.
They're going to play out from the back, and he says if it goes wrong, Russell Martin, it's his fault. So we've got to be ready for that. I know it's also all the vogue and in the Championship as well, but
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
but they're going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but good luck with that.
Yeah. It's very brave.
You keep it up, I keep saying it. Good luck.
But they're going to do it, yeah.
If they get cut out, you get away with it, obviously, in the Championship if
Yes.
they lose it. And it's well and good playing now, but you got to do it the right time. But if they do it too often, they get caught, they'll be punished.
Yeah.
But this is a chance, isn't it, for Southampton to suddenly turn things around. If they play really well this evening, even if they were to lose narrowly, they play really well this evening, suddenly that changes their mindset for the Championship.
Because you know, people will be seeing Liverpool as favourites, especially at Anfield. You know, it's very tough to beat Liverpool at this stage of a competition. But if they can come here and beat them, of course, that's going to give them confidence. And even if they come here and put in a good performance and they don't win, that will give them confidence going into their next game. But like Roy said, you can't come here and give away easy goals, sloppy goals, and not be compact, because then you will be punished.
I think it's a night for double screening because we've got the Chelsea game on ITV4. Chelsea have just equalised. They were 1 down early on, but Chelsea have equalised. How big a night is this for Mauricio Pochettino?
Big game from after the weekend, and obviously the pressure will be building. If they lose home to Leeds tonight, huge pressure on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the teams are going to be out soon here at Anfield, but some sad news for Saints fans this weekend. Former player and manager Chris Nicholl passed away. He played 6 seasons for the club after signing in 1977, winning promotion to Division 1 in his first year, then returned to manage the side for a further half-dozen seasons when he handed debuts to Alan Shearer, Matt Le Tissier and Rodney Wallace, amongst others. He oversaw a famous 4-1 win over today's opponents in 1989, the season Liverpool won the league. He was 77. The draw for the 6th round of the FA Cup was made earlier this evening. Wolves or Brighton against Coventry. Nottingham Forest or Manchester United against the winners here. Chelsea or Leeds at home to Leicester City. and Manchester City against Newcastle United, after they both had victories last night. 3 games already underway this evening. Let's have a look at the latest scores there then. Chelsea 1, Leeds 1. Joseph put Leeds in front. Nicholas Jackson's just equalised. Underway at the City Ground, no goals there. Mario Lemina has scored for Wolves. So if Wolves are to win that via West Midlands derby with Coventry City. And the winners here will go to the City Ground or Old Trafford in the quarter-finals. Very, very youthful Liverpool team this evening here. Look how young the midfield is tonight. It just lends itself to these sorts of jokes, but they're so talented. And they've got that man there, Virgil van Dijk, who scored the winner at the weekend. Is he, for you, the pre-ACL, pre-injury Virgil van Dijk?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was always going to take him a few months to get back up to speed. And when he got back, what happens when you come back for a long-term injury and you make 1 or 2 mistakes? People are quick to say, well, you're not the same player. But he's back to his best now, I think, definitely.
And did it also feel, it's only human nature that before the World Cup, having missed the Euros with his injury, he was like, I'm not missing another major championship. Even subconsciously, he wasn't maybe at 100% full.
I wouldn't like to accuse him of not giving everything, but like that must have been on your mind. And like you say, it's Virgil van Dijk and what he means to Liverpool, and it's getting injured again. Of course, you're going to be a bit tentative going into certain challenges, but we're now seeing the very, very best of him. You know what I mean? Not only through his play and how brilliant he is, but through obviously his leadership qualities as well. And
for the young players playing tonight, obviously defensively they still have 2 or 3 experienced players in the back 4. That's vital because you need to help these young players, and that's where his leadership will come into it. And there's been question marks, I think, particularly with his national team, that he doesn't do enough as a captain. But we're seeing better signs recently that he's enjoying that leadership role a bit more.
Well, you know what it's like to be a young player playing at Anfield for the away team.
Yeah, well, I was very lucky. Obviously, again, I was fortunate to play for a manager who gave young players a chance, and he threw me in here, how many years ago? 300 years ago, and gave me my debut. And it was great memories. I don't remember too much about the game, but I was grateful for a manager to give me that opportunity, particularly to make my debut at Liverpool, who Liverpool obviously were brilliant at the time, and good memories.
Were you too young to be nervous? I was going to say scared. Actually, I will draw that line. Too young to be apprehensive?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously what helped, of course, he didn't tell me till about an hour before kick-off, so I didn't have a chance to kind of overthink it. It was just a case, get on with it. But again, the key for any young player, and the same for myself that night, was it's all right making your debut, but it was to stay in the team, and I managed to do that for the next few years. So yeah, it's kicking on from your first few games.
And for these Southampton players, I mean, this is a massive night for them in terms of the atmosphere, the occasion. We know what Liverpool are. They've got 5,000 fans. An opportunity individually for them, Ian, to go, right, I belong here. I'm going to grow as a player.
Yeah, it is. And like we mentioned about what it can do for them in the rest of their season and what the kind of confidence it can give them. It's a massive opportunity. They've got a free hit here. Everybody will probably have Liverpool as the favourites. It's up to them to stay compact, try and make sure that they can really use the ball well when they do break on Liverpool and trying to take their chances. I know that's very obvious, but that's the main thing what they've got to try and do.
Jurgen Klopp says once you've won a trophy, you can touch that side.
Wow.
There we are. That's what it's all about. There have been 14 ties between Premier League and Championship clubs in the Cup so far. Only 2 sides from the second tier have progressed. Can Southampton add to that tally tonight here at Anfield? We will find out next.